In case after case, a car is found, belongings are left behind, and a story gets built that may not match the behavior. Today we're talking about Maura Murray, Brandon Lawson, and Jennifer Kesse. Before we go further, ask yourself this: are we looking at facts or are we repeating a narrative? And that can be decisive. Let's talk about behavior versus narrative. Behavior, paranoid. Was Brandon Lawson paranoid? Essentially, Brandon Lawson was found and DNA confirmed it in a field where his car was found. So was he paranoid or was he telling the truth? Ran away. So is that behavior or is that narrative? And who was actually there to be able to prove that that's what occurred? Disoriented. Again, do we have proof that that is behavior or that that is narrative? These are labels, not evidence, which is a completely different story. This is where things start to fall apart in these cases because the behavior doesn't match the conclusion, which can derail justice, which can frustrate family, which can keep them searching for answers many years after his disappearance. And this is important because this is where investigations can go wrong, right? What do we actually know versus what are we assuming? There's already timeline gaps, so we don't know what happened before the crash. We don't know what precipitated the crash. We have the 911 call, but it raises as many questions as it raises answers. Also, we need to ask ourselves about witness reliability. That is a big one because ultimately, if you don't have people that you can trust giving you the correct story, then you can be led on a wild goose chase, right? As well as the law enforcement framing. Their framing is also extremely important, right? If we get this part wrong, we don't just misunderstand the case, we potentially lose the truth because the beginning of the story is as crucial as the end of the story to bring justice to the family of Brandon Lawson. When behavior doesn't match the conclusion deserves scrutiny, right? So the real question isn't what happened, it's what are we assuming happened and why. That is big. So in closing, if we misread behavior, we misdirect justice. We rob the family of justice and knowing what actually happened. Because our assumptions, you know what they say about assumptions. Don't always assume you know the full answer. Were you there? Right? Do we even have the beginning of the story? There are so many questions still lingering in this case. And my heart goes out to the family who's dealing with this because this seems like a never-ending circle that may or may not ever get solved, which is really unfortunate. So thank you for tuning in to Grace and Gavel, where truth meets compassion. And I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope that you will come back and see us again soon. If you feel led, feel free to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.